とても人間らしくて、とても好きだと思ったから。
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the movies that have redefined what it means to fall in love in anime.
ねえ会長、私を見て、隠さないから。
Number 30, Ride Your Wave. Moving to an idyllic oceanside town and falling in love sounds like the ultimate dream come true. For Hinako and Minato, it's as close to perfect as it gets, until it all comes crashing down. After Minato's untimely demise, Hinako realizes his soul is tethered to a song the pair cherished. Minato! Blending a heartfelt and swoon-worthy romance with profound themes of moving on and letting go, the love shared between the star-crossed pair runs as deep as the ocean itself.
海に連れてって、ひなこがサーフィンするとこ、もう一度見たいんだ。
Thanks to a fantastic soundtrack that elevates every moment to hit you in the feels, Ride Your Wave's emotional beats linger long after the credits roll.
港が消えちゃったらどうしよう。ごめんなさい。
Number 29, Saikano the Movie Finale. Serving as a coda to the much-loved How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend anime series, Tomoya Aki's story comes to a satisfying end.
ゲームのためだもんね。
Bringing a mature depth to his romance with Megumi Kato that might even surprise fans, the finale goes beyond its romantic comedy roots. Without letting go of its light-hearted style, Finale tells a very human story of love and compromise.
やってみないとわかんないよ。
There's some tonal adjustment for longtime fans, but the film's direction complements the evolution of its protagonists. While returning viewers might appreciate its sentiments a bit more, Finale taps into emotional nuances that everyone can relate to.
ごめん。俺勘違いしちゃって。
Number 28, Tenchi the Movie, Tenchi Muyo in Love. With an action-heavy time-traveling plot, you might wonder how Tenchi the Movie spares any time for a love story. But not only does the film deliver, it uses Tenchi's complex emotions as a vital piece of the plot. Faced with fading from existence, Tenchi grapples with the significance of his relationships and the choices he must make.
今のうちから母親に媚び売っといてポイント稼ぐつもりだな。おお、怖い。
Caught between his love triangle with Ayeka and Ryoko, the protagonist is forced to confront his feelings. The film presents its romantic overtones in a more serious light compared to its lighthearted portrayal in the TV series. With one hand on its sci-fi platform and another on romance, Tenchi the Movie strikes a balance between multiple genres without skimping on its quality.
それだけでいいの。
Number 27, Orange Future. Ah, the things we do for love. Even if it means living without it, dealing with different timelines and alternate futures, the Orange anime is a mind-bending experience. Future offers another perspective from which to view it, focusing on Hiroto Sua's unrequited love for Naho.
届いた。手紙。
Where the TV series had us shipping Naho and Kakeru, the film shows us just how much Sua sacrifices for them to be together. Retelling previous events from Sua's POV, it explores the protagonist's inner struggles as he accepts that some love stories just aren't meant to be.
逃げんなよ、ナホ。
こんなの手紙に書いてない。
Redefining the concept of a happy ending, Orange Future showcases how true love can be as heartbreaking as it is uplifting.
かけるとナホが隣同士並んで幸せそうに笑う未来を俺は見てみたかった。
Number 26, Urusei Yatsura 2, Beautiful Dreamer. Judging by the tone of the first movie, you'd be forgiven for thinking this is an all-out comedy. However, Beautiful Dreamer wonderfully subverts expectations, blending its trademark humor with themes of emotional fidelity and commitment. Set in a dreamlike time loop, Ataru has to define what his relationship with love interest Lum means to him. Although framed as a surreal, fantastical mystery, Beautiful Dreamer is ultimately about Ataru's personal growth. The main character learns to hold himself responsible for his choices while accepting the connection he shares with Lum. Despite an initially mixed response, the film is now hailed as a trailblazer in experimental storytelling, leaving audiences to contemplate its deeper message. Number 25. Words bubble up like soda pop. You don't always need a grand or elaborate depiction of love. Sometimes it's okay to see people just being people. This film centers around Cherry and Smile. While he prefers to communicate using haikus, she can't face people without a mask. Under a wild set of circumstances, the pair fall into each other's lives.
好きなんだ俳句
俳句ならうまく言葉にできる
The film playfully highlights their quirks as they find comfort in embracing their vulnerability. Moving away from the typical portrayal of love, Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop has a grounded portrayal of the main character's flaws and insecurities.
花火一緒に見に行こう
With moments that will both melt your heart and make it flutter, this slice-of-life romantic drama reminds us how our vulnerabilities can become our greatest strength.
山桜スマイルのこと僕は好き君が好き
Number 24. Case Closed, The Crimson Love Letter. Part of the long-running Detective Conan series, this entry places romance as one of its themes. Rather than the main protagonist, the film's romantic tension surrounds the Heiji and Kazuha pairing. When the mysterious Momiji shows up claiming to be Heiji's fiancé, she and Kazuha begin competing for his affection.
会えるんやないかと思ってましたうちの未来の旦那さんに
In a mystery thriller that leans into its premise, this love triangle offers some much-needed levity. It also pushes Heiji and Kazuha's characters to new heights, which is pretty impressive considering Crimson Love Letter's status as the series' 21st installment.
なんやかさえらい怖い顔して
With a deep insight into the complexities of love, its romantic overtones create a captivating dynamic with an equally compelling payoff.
まだお前には言わなあかんことがあんねん
Number 23. I've Always Liked You.
It takes serious guts to confess your feelings. Just ask high school student Natsuki Enomoto. After years of pining for her childhood friend Yu, she finally tells him how she feels, only to chicken out and claim that she was just practicing for her real crush.
ずっと前から好きでした
Little does she know, she's also caught the eye of her fellow classmate, Koyuki Ayase. Throughout the film, Natsuki finds comfort in the support of her girlfriends, who are each dealing with their own share of boy troubles.
付き合ってるとか付き合ってないとかわかんないよ
While it may not have the deepest storyline, this movie stands out thanks to its stunning visuals and fresh upbeat soundtrack. This light-hearted teen romance is a must-watch for all fans of the shoujo genre.
ずっと前から好きでした私と付き合ってください
Number 22. From Up on Poppy Hill.
Miyazaki might be best known for his fantasy movies, but he's just as capable of crafting enchanting stories set in the real world. From Up on Poppy Hill centers around the romance that blossoms between two teenagers in post-war Japan. As their city prepares to host the 1964 Olympics, Umi and Shun learn that their school's clubhouse might get demolished. In an effort to save the building, they decide to renovate it together. In the process, the two unearth old family secrets and discovered that they might have more in common than either of them had imagined.
私風間さんが好き
メル
血がつながっていてもたとえ兄弟でもずーっと好き
The love story is carefully interwoven with overarching themes of war and loss, which gave it a touchingly realistic sense of melancholy, but also hope for the future.
Number 21. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl.
Picking up right where the gem of an anime left off, this flick continues the adventures of Sakuta and his girlfriend Mai. The two seem to have a perfect relationship, but their lives take a turn for the weirder when Sakuta's first love Shoko mysteriously resurfaces.
だったら私が居候しても何の問題もないですね。とにかくダメなものはダメです。大丈夫なものは大丈夫です。ダメです。それにもし何かあっても問題ありません。私、作田くんのこと好きですから。
To make things even stranger, there appear to be two versions of her. One is an adult woman, the other is a middle school student in need of a heart transplant. As Sakuta and Mai scramble to unravel the mystery of the two Shokos, their devotion to each other is put to the test.
私は作田の何？
恋人。
With plot twists involving time travel and quantum physics, this supernatural romance drama tells a beautiful story about the lengths to which one can go for love.
前に言ったでしょ。作田が思ってるより、私は作田のことが好きなのよ。
Number 20. Tamako Love Story.
If you're craving a good old-fashioned slice of life romance, then look no further. Following the events of Tamako Market, this movie gives us a peek at the lives of Tamako and her friends as they prepare to graduate from high school. The happy-go-lucky protagonist isn't too worried about the future, or anything else for that matter, until her childhood friend Mochizo reveals that he's been in love with her for years.
私もそんな人になれないかなって思ってるんだ。なれるかな？
The confession leaves Tomako reeling, but she has little time to figure out her own feelings and respond to Mochizo before he leaves for university in Tokyo.
もちぞ、東京の大学行くんだって。うん。こないだね、もちぞに話があるって言われた日にね、もちぞに告白されたんだ。
With plenty of adorable characters and typical coming-of-age awkwardness, this movie is sure to make you feel all the fuzzies.
卵、
なんで東京行っちゃうの？遠いよ。東京遠いよ。
いや、でも、てかなんで卵ここに？
ずっと近くにいたのに、なんで離れちゃうの？
Number 19. Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. Take on Me.
Relationships aren't always smooth sailing, especially when your girlfriend is convinced that she has magical powers.
戦闘力587万だと。化け物か。
言ってる場合か。
Despite being in her third year of high school, Rika Takanashi still suffers from Chunibyo syndrome, a condition that makes people believe they have supernatural abilities.
Thankfully, her boyfriend Yuta loves her just the way she is. However, their relationship is threatened when Rika's older sister wants her to move overseas. Determined to stay together, the lovers decide to elope and embark on a road trip across Japan. During their travels, they learn to face Rika's lingering superstitions and grow even stronger as a couple.
There's no doubt that longtime fans of the Chunibyo series will be more than satisfied by this heartwarming conclusion.
私は神など信じないが、たとえ我が身が最終形態に変化したとしても、私はユータを好きでいる。
本当か？ダークフレームマスターとジャンオーシンガンの誓いだぞ。
もちろんだ。
Number 18. Laputa, Castle in the Sky.
When young orphan Patsu rescues a girl who falls, or rather floats down from the sky, his life changes forever.
I inherited that name. And the name I inherited was Lushita Tualul Laputa.
Laputa.
Turns out that the mysterious Shita is being chased by pirates and evil government agents who want her crystal amulet, the magical jewel that's linked to the flying island of Laputa, a legendary castle full of treasures and technological marvels. The two children set out on a perilous voyage to find Laputa and uncover its secrets, and in the process, develop a deep bond of trust and devotion to one another. While their romance isn't necessarily as prominent as the elements of fantasy and adventure, it's still incredibly wholesome to watch. After all, is there anything purer than kids in love?
Number 17. The Anthem of the Heart.
From the creators of Anohana and Toradora comes this bittersweet tale about teenage love and the healing power of music. Jun Naruse was once a talkative little girl, but after a traumatic event in her childhood, she finds herself unable to speak. In high school, her impromptu meeting with a talented young singer named Takumi Sakagami leads her to make a startling discovery. Though she can't talk, she can use her voice to sing. As Jun decides to prepare a musical for the school festival, she slowly starts to regain her lost confidence and develops close bonds with her classmates. Meanwhile, her courage inspires her friends to step forward and confess feelings that they'd been keeping secret for years.
Number 16. The Wind Rises.
Only Miyazaki could create such a dreamy and romantic atmosphere in a biopic about the inventor of a deadly Japanese military plane. Though the film has often been criticized for its overly idealistic tone, no one can complain about the hauntingly beautiful love story between aircraft designer Jiro Horikoshi and his wife Naoko. After meeting briefly during an earthquake, Jiro and Naoko lose track of each other for several years, until they're miraculously reunited at a summer resort. The two are quickly swept up in a whirlwind romance, but Naoko's worsening health and the looming shadow of World War II make their happiness feel as light and fleeting as the gentle wind that blows throughout the movie.
Number 15. Weathering with You.
Set in a bleak future where Japan is plagued by a constant downpour of rain, Makoto Shinkai's cinematic venture follows 16-year-old Hodaka after he escapes from his rural town to Tokyo. As he struggles to stay afloat financially, he meets an orphan named Hina who has the power to change the weather.
君、家出少年でしょ。わかるよ、それくらい。せっかく東京に来たのに、ずっと雨だね。
Using this uncanny ability, the two teenagers decide to start a business giving sunshine to people for special events. But it's not all sunny skies, as Hodaka soon finds out that there's a heavy price to pay for Hina's gift. True to himself, Shinkai uses fantasy elements and breathtaking animation to give us a love story that's just as inspiring as it is aesthetically spectacular.
Number 14. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
With a title like this, you might expect this movie to be a zombie horror flick. But make no mistake, this is a sweet and at times devastatingly touching love story between two high school students.
日記膵臓死ぬ
それ、私のなんだ。
At first, they seem to be polar opposites with nothing in common. He's a stoic loner who prefers books to people, and she's a cheerful social butterfly. But their fates collide after he finds out that she suffers from a pancreatic illness and only has a few months to live. She makes him promise to keep her secret, and the two set out to check things off her bucket list. Fair warning, you might want to stock up on tissues for this one.
私たちが今までしてきた一つ一つの選択が積み重なって、私たちを引き合わせたんだよ。そうやって今、私 私たちはここにいるんだよ。
Number 13. The Garden of Words.
Romances with significant age gaps can be controversial, but this tale of what could have been handles its tricky subject matter with great poignancy. Crafted by Makoto Shinkai, it centers on the chance meeting of a 15-year-old male student and a 27-year-old female teacher.
Chocolate and beer. She looks familiar, though.
Both shirk their usual responsibilities of school and work to regularly meet in the same garden, finding comfort in their shared feeling of nonconformity, even when they're separated by over a decade in age.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, hey!
I can't see?
No, not yet. Maybe never.
Really?
Yes, really.
Despite the film's title, dialogue is used sparingly, allowing writer-director Makoto Shinkai's impossibly detailed visuals to do most of the talking, while the characters' subtle expressions and movements speak louder than words ever could.
Even if rain comes not, I will stay here, together with you.
Number 12. Hotarubi no Mori e.
Romance and the supernatural often go hand in hand. In this instance, this film focuses on the relationship between a human girl, Hotaru, and Gin, a magical silver-haired boy adopted by the forest spirits. The pair meet when Hotaru becomes hopelessly lost in the woods that Gin inhabits. After he comes to her aid, they form a bond that he warns her can never be physical, as he will vanish if a human ever touches him.
あと3年して卒業したら、こっちの方で就職探すつもりなの。そしたら、もっと一緒にいられるわ。
Their relationship remains strong despite this, though as Hotaru gets older, they both realize their romantic feelings for each other, and the distance between them becomes harder and harder to bear.
Number 11. The Last, Naruto the Movie.
We know, a romantic Naruto movie? But believe it, this is about as lovey-dovey as the shonen genre gets.
It, sounds like you're hungry. I can make you some instant ramen upstairs.
No, thank you, good night.
Picking up 2 years after the Fourth Great Ninja War, the story sees our spiky-haired hero assist his new belle, Hinata, to rescue her little sister who's mistakenly kidnapped instead of her. For old fans, the film is a sweet and satisfying payoff to finally see Naruto return Hinata's long-held feelings for him.
I want to stay with you. Forever and ever, until I die. I want to be with you, Hinata.
Oh, Naruto.
Risking it all for love, despite the loss of your most powerful ability, is as grand a romantic gesture as it gets. Geez, that ship took a long time to sail, didn't it?
Number 10. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Who else but Summer Wars director Mamoru Hosoda could effortlessly blend sci-fi, coming-of-age drama, and the clumsiness of first love all into one timey-wimey package? The titular girl is high school student Makoto, who mysteriously gains the ability to leap through time, quite literally. While some would use this ability for good or evil, Makoto simply uses it to fix every little problem in her life, including an unwanted confession of love from one of her best friends, Chiaki.
Makoto, what do you say? You want to go out?
She soon discovers that her time leaps are actually limited, and more shockingly, that Chiaki knows more than he's been letting on. The question then becomes, will she acknowledge her own feelings for him before it's too late?
Why'd you come here?
'Cause I had to.
Number 9. 5 centimeters per second.
Ambitious, bittersweet, and all held together by that Makoto Shinkai magic, this is a story told in 3 parts: Cherry Blossom, Cosmonaut, and 5 centimeters per second. Starting in the 90s and moving through to the then present day, our main protagonist is Takaki, a boy who moves around a lot because of his parents' work lives. When he befriends a girl named Akari, they become pen pals after life pulls them in different directions, though their long-distance relationship becomes strained as they grow older.
It gave our classmates the reason they needed to tease us. Strangely, though, it didn't matter much to us, because we knew that we had each other.
But even as they fall into relationships with other people, neither can completely forget the special bond they developed as teenagers. No wonder Shinkai was lauded the title of the next Miyazaki.
Number 8. Fruits Basket Prelude. The Fruits Basket series follows high schooler Toru as she navigates life on her own. Prelude details the backstory of Toru's parents, exploring topics like lost love, trauma, and healing.
人に愛されたいのでしょ。俺はそうだよ。
After meeting the kind-hearted Katsuya, the troubled and rebellious Kyoko turns over a new leaf. Their union is cut short when tragedy strikes, with Kyoko struggling to pick up the pieces of her life. The strength of their love ultimately shapes who Toru becomes, bringing Fruits Basket's overarching narrative full circle.
何にも恥じることなく好きだって言える自信があったかな。
Departing from the show's fantasy-driven elements, the film tackles real-world issues with a poignant touch. A rare prequel that shines with or without prior knowledge of the series, Prelude is an absolute tearjerker from start to finish.
泣きたくなるほどの幸せはずっと続くと。
Number 7. Whisper of the Heart.
The Studio Ghibli Legends films are always infused with romance, and Whisper of the Heart is by far one of the most underrated. At the start, we're introduced to 14-year-old bookworm Shizuku, who was irritated to learn that all of her favorite library books were checked out by the same person, a boy named Seiji.
Seiji Amasawa. Wow, is there any book here this guy hasn't checked out?
She finds him just as aggravating when she meets him, but this eventually gives way to feelings of affection.
Are you ready? I'm pretty sure you know this one.
Seiji's ambition of becoming a violin maker makes Shizuku realize she has no ambitions of her own, inspiring her down the literary path of writing books of her own.
We must be meant for each other, Shizuku.
I still can't believe I'm not dreaming. Who cares? This is a great dream.
Number 6. Suzume. Is it a fantasy, action-adventure, or a coming-of-age drama? That's up to interpretation. But is it a deeply moving story about hope, responsibility, and the resilience of the human spirit? Absolutely.
この辺りに廃墟はない？
廃墟?
Suzume follows the titular character as she helps the mysterious Sota prevent a major catastrophe. However, it's up to the protagonist to save the day after Sota turns into a chair. Yes, you heard that right.
なんだこれは。
Despite the unusual premise, the heroes' time together shows how love can develop beyond basic attraction. Suzume's feelings for Sota are woven into the film alongside its fantastical elements, as the pair connect over their journey. It's an awe-inspiring tale of love and courage that is as heartfelt as it is breathtaking.
すずめさん、行ってくる。
Number 5. The Night is Short, Walk On Girl.
Masaaki Yuasa, of the Tatami Galaxy fame, applies his unique animation style to this unconventional rom-com. Contrary to the title, the story unfolds over one long and boozy night, following a female university student known only as Otome as she parties her way through the streets of Kyoto, which are peppered by a cast of peculiar and not quite human characters. Along the way, she keeps running into her senpai, meetings which aren't exactly by chance as he longs to admit his feelings for her.
やってすぎだ!
The problem is, he just can't pin her down to tell her.
ロマンチックエンジン人外ニトロ注入今宵彼女が主役であるならば私も主役や踊りだ!
It's a colorful, psychedelic journey that's been described as Lewis Carroll meets Ulysses, perfect for those with alternative tastes.
こうして出会ったのも
何かのご縁。
Number 4. Dokusei.
これは。では。草壁。
A classic opposites attract love story, only this time with a lot more LGBTQ plusness. Saijo is a straight-laced honor student, while Kusakabe is an outgoing musician and popular with the ladies. However, to Saijo's surprise, he only has eyes for him.
まあ、この間は不意のことだったけど、メガネってチューすんのの邪魔になったと思う？
Together, they navigate societal stigma and their own growing pains. Boys' love stories can feature problematic themes, but Dokusei is a shining example of what the genre can do positively, offering a subtle and grounded depiction of awkward, angsty, and passionate teen love that is both universal and distinctly queer at the same time.
クソ壁。もう、まったく。
Number 3. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, the first kiss that never ends. Many people have experienced a freak-out after their first kiss. This movie explores the whirlwind of emotions that follow that pivotal moment. Capturing the elation, confusion, and excitement that comes with new love. The film sees Kaguya and Shirogane struggling to define their relationship. Although filled with classic rom-com tropes, it also provides a uniquely introspective look into what being together means. The film authentically portrays how quickly feelings evolve from just one kiss, acknowledging that, no matter how hard you try, you can't fight what the heart wants.
キスというものはそんなホイホイするものじゃないだろう。ちゃんと気持ちが入ってないキスなんて虚しき。なんで蹴った
Amidst all the cutesy, lovey-dovey moments lies the message that love can be imperfect and pure at the same time. It's all about giving it a chance.
わからない人ね。完璧じゃなくてもいいと言ってるのよ。
Number 2. Howl's Moving Castle. He's a beautiful and selfish wizard, and she's a kind-hearted shopgirl with an old soul.
See? Not so hard, is it?
After a chance encounter brings Howl and Sophie together, they find their fates bound together after Sophie is cursed with an aging spell by a jealous ex-lover of Howl's.
You can't even break your own spell.
But you don't understand. I love you.
Too late.
She finds herself playing housekeeper in the rebellious mage's mobile home, where she learns that underneath his vanity and pride, he's a scared and lonely boy. In turn, he begins to fall in love with her inner beauty, even as he becomes more and more monstrous on the outside. Howl's Moving Castle is a perfect modern fairy tale, and has become one of Studio Ghibli's most beloved pieces.
Sophie, your hair looks just like starlight. It's beautiful.
You think so?
So do I.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Your Name. Makoto Shinkai cemented his status in the cinematic anime landscape with this masterpiece, one that rocked the mainstream to its core. Two complete strangers, a girl living in a rural town and a boy living in the city, become connected when they keep waking up in each other's bodies.
That we're in our dreams, that girl and I... We're switching places?
Once they get over the initial shock, they communicate with one another through notes and try to fix each other's problems. Eventually, they decide to try and meet properly, but forces out of their control make that an impossibility. It's a love story truly unlike any other, as we watch and hope that the red string of fate will eventually bring these two together.
Mitsuha! My name is Mitsuha!
Did we miss any romance anime that stole your heart? Let us know in the comments.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.